Yeah, good evening, Sanjeev.
Hello, Vijay.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening, Vijay. How are you?
Fine. What about you, sir?
Yeah, same here. I'm pretty good.
Okay.
So, we do not have anybody. I mean, you are the only one who is present. Others are not, still not in. Okay, Vijay, you got a chance to go through the
Yeah,
recordings
yes,
or?
yes, yes.
Okay, okay.
Yesterday recording, no, I have gone through.
Uh-huh.
That is till estimate cost on the entire, say, audio. And one more is, Sanjeev, day before yesterday, till not received, Sanjeev.
No, I
Like
have
no
already
time.
given the, huh?
Okay, okay. That is time management. That is
Huh?
knowledge area
Yeah.
of time. So unable to receive that. The
No, I
yesterday
have
one.
already shared that with Ajay,
Ajay.
and
Okay, okay,
he would be sharing that pretty soon. Okay,
okay.
so we will start
Yeah.
with the control cost. So yesterday, as I told you that in control cost process, we are basically monitoring the status of the project, and at times it happens that we make changes to the project cost, and we make changes to the cost baseline as a result of some potential deviation, and in order to address that potential deviation, we need to uh, make changes in the schedule or make changes in the cost, which in turn impacts our cost baseline. Okay. Uh, and there are, input. I think yesterday we talked about, the input to control cost. Okay. And what I said that project management plan, within project management plan, uh, one input which goes to control cost is cost baseline. Uh, Cost baseline is actually compared with the actual scenario. It is compared with the actual result, uh, and in case if there are some deviations, there are some potential deviations, the corrective actions are taken, or if any preventive measure is required to be taken, that is done. Another input to control cost is the cost management plan. And as we discussed yesterday, the cost management plan, it talks about how the project cost would be managed and controlled. Then there is another information which goes to control cost is project funding requirement, and you know that the project funding requirement is actually the output of the previous process. That is your determined budget. That also goes as an input, and then we have uh, the work performance data. Work performance data, wherein we have the uh, information about the activity, what time they started and what is the physical uh, percentage of completion. So that work performance information that goes to control cost as an input. Okay, so I think yesterday we did discuss about input, and then when I was about to discuss on the tools and techniques, I asked you to wrap up because I thought that it would be too much of information going uh, to your end. Now I think it started with the earned value management, and I told you that the earned value management is actually a technique which is used to evaluate the performance of the project on three parameter: cost, schedule, and time. As a result of performing the earned value analysis, we come to know how we are performing on the scope, how we are performing on the schedule, or how we are performing on the cost. Okay, so it might happen that on the cost, we are we have spent more than what we planned, or like on schedule, it might happen that we are um, going ahead of schedule, or we are going behind the schedule. So there are certain parameters using which we evaluate the performance of the project. And talking about earned value management, this is actually one technique which is not just relevant, not just applicable to the IT industry. In fact, it is relevant to most of the industries. This is one beauty of the earned value management. Same way it is applied to the construction industry, and same way it is applied to the IT. And the main theme of earned value management is to evaluate the project performance, and at the same time, based on that evaluation, we can also predict the future. We can also come up with a conclusion. If supposing if there is a project with a budget of $10,000 and we are halfway through, so right in the middle of the project, we can make out if we would be able to complete the project in $10,000, or we would be needing more money. So those things are well addressed in on value management, and there are quite a number of the questions in the examination, and most of the questions are, I would say, the confusing questions. Very lengthy questions are there, and you need to take out the relevant information from the question itself, and then do some mathematical calculation, and then give the results. Okay. There is another technique which is called as forecasting. So as I was, just talking about earned value management, and I said that it is not only used to evaluate the performance of the project, but also it is used to predict the future also. It is used for forecasting, also. So as I gave you one example, that if there is a project with a budget of $10,000, and right in the middle of the project, if you want to know whether we would be able to complete in $10,000, or we would be needing more money. So this kind of information is also possible using earned value analysis. And if you go through the PMBOK, you'll get a pretty good idea about earned value management. Okay. Uh, then there is something called as to complete performance index. This is nothing but a technique. Um, it is also called as TCPI, and it is actually a measure of uh, the cost performance that is required to be achieved with the remaining resources in order to meet a specified management goal. So if supposing we are working on a project, and I mean I'll use the same example, and the budget is $10,000, and when we are halfway through, what we figure out that we are already consumed 60% of the budget. That means 40% of the money is still there in our bucket, but the amount of work is more than the funds available in our bucket. So TCPI, to complete performance index, it actually tells me that in order to complete the project within $10,000 only, what kind of a cost performance we would be we would be required to have. So that information we actually get, there is, a mathematical formula, and using that we know that in order to meet the deadline, in order to meet, the cost baseline, we need to perform at this level. So that is your TCPI, okay. And also, while we are controlling the cost, uh, we also, do the variance analysis. A variance analysis is nothing but a comparative study done between what we actually planned in the beginning and what are the facts on the ground, or rather, we can also say that we compare the plan um, with the actual picture on the ground. And at times it happens that we plan for, maybe to complete an activity by 15th of August, but actually we were able to complete that activity by 15th of September. So there is clearly, a future, then we have make sure that we have sufficient amount of money to address those risks. Now, while we are controlling, while we are controlling the cost, what we basically get, the number one thing, which we get is the work performance information. So the work performance information which came in as an input, we perform certain action on that data, and what we get is, the information in the sense we come to know if we are running ahead of schedule, or if we are running behind the schedule, or we are overspending, or we are underspending. So those kind of things we get. So I think Vijay has some question. Vijay, tell me.
Yeah, yeah, Sanjeev, we have no, say, you have said in control cost various tools and techniques. And then it say measures the variance, then where exactly the project and what is the balance amount of work, okay, various forecastings, then project reviews and project performance, say counting or accounting. No, it gives even reserve analysis, like no, what is the contingencies allowed and available, and even with management reserves, whatever it is available and all that. It has gotten its own process and to get those items. See, my point, Sanjeev, in this, uh, we know the status of the project. See, like for example, say 80% of the budget exhausted, means utilized. Only 20% budget is available, and with various approvals we may get whatever the additional is there, 10% here and there. But how to complete the balance work? Okay, then can project manager can visualize where exactly he is, anyhow the counting and all that it is there. Can he able to assess and finalize? Yes, I can able to go to this way to complete the project. Any such process or the path it shows in control cost? Yes,
Yeah,
Sanjeev.
it is very much possible to really, make out which direction to go. We have means and mechanism to, know those things.
Yeah, can I have one example on that?
Okay, one example is, I'll give you one example that supposing we are working on a project and we have only, 1 week in our hand. So today is what? Today is 13th of August. And by 20th of August, we need to send the final delivery to the customer. Okay. So we have roughly around, 1 week with us. But the problem is everybody is occupied with the work. Okay. And now the situation is that I'll have to, load the people with more than their capacity. That means one person, would be working on simultaneously two activities. So basically we are in that kind of a situation wherein we have to complete a lot of work, but the amount of time, which we have in our hand is very, very less. So there are two concepts, there are two techniques. The first one is called as fast tracking and the second one is called as crashing. These are two schedule compression techniques. So what we basically do in the first case, we ask the resources to start, performing the task in parallel. Okay. The benefit of this technique that we are able to complete more work in less amount of time with less number of resources. But the flip side of this technique, there is always, a risk element attached, because when people are multitasking, when people are working on more than one activity, the chances of rework is pretty high. Okay. Second option is crashing. Crashing basically means that in my project I have only 5 resources, and the amount of work which I have that actually needs more than 5. So what I do, I go to the resource pool and I pick up 2 more resources and I deploy those resources onto the project. The positive side, that I would be able to complete the project within the given time window, and the flip side is I will be, increasing the cost of the project, because more resources means I need to shell out more money. So these are, the two means and mechanism through which we can really salvage a situation, do some kind of a damage control. Is it clear, Vijay?
Yeah. Sanjeev, and one more point is whatever the balance work is there, then how much till which extent the project manager or the sponsor or the customer also may get engaged wherever the severe project say requirements are there, the budget is required, means the fund is required more and more, more than say 20% or more than 30%, like that. Say when they are at 80%, any possibility is there such time, the project be withheld or or may cancel or put more and more they pour money in that to complete the project.
No, I do not understand what you are trying to say.
Yeah, Sanjeev. And my point is, wherever the project is at 80% of the fund has been utilized. Okay, only 20% fund is available. But where the project is required, around some additional 30 or 40% of the fund is required. Whatever they incurred on that. Okay, of total project cost, additional 40%. In that case,
In that
yeah.
case, you need to basically write a proposal to the customer and
Okay.
explain the entire situation that we have more work, but unfortunately less amount of money. And you need to give justification that why you spend more money on the work which you have already completed. So you need to basically come up, with a business case and convince the customer so that he is ready to give more money. Or if they say no, then as a vendor, you need to shell out, the money from your own pocket. That means there would be a dent on your profit.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Then in this case, is it through come through change request or
It comes through change request.
like change control board? It has to
Yes,
again
yes, yes.
evaluate from
Yeah.
project manager for initially.
Yes.
Then they can submit to change control board now for
Yes.
entire revision, and they
Yes.
give the final decision on that.
Yes. Any change on schedule, any change on cost, any change on scope, it has to be initiated by a change request.
Okay.
This is a thumb rule.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Now talking about the earned value management, as you can see on your screen, there are few terminology which I think it's worth sharing with you. There is something called as the planned value. Now,
Okay.
planned value is nothing but, the authorized budget assigned to the work to
Yes,
be accomplished for an activity.
sorry, Sanjeev. Sanjeev, unable to see the screenshot of the same, whatever you're explaining.
You can't see?
Yeah, I can't see the presentation slide. Unable to
Oh,
see that. But
okay.
anyhow,
Let me log out and then log in again.
okay, 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 okay.
Ajay, are you there? Ajay, can you hear me? Oh, no, is that Neha?
Okay, hold on. Okay. नहीं मेरी नहीं है
Ajay, can you hear me? Ajay, are you there? Ajay, Neha. Ajay, I need to speak to you.
Ajay, Neha, can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, Sanjeev.
Is that Neha?
Yeah.
Neha, I'm not able to share my screen.
Because you, just a second. Okay, now just try once.
Okay. Yes. Yes, now I can. I think people are able to see my screen. One second, let me check with them. Vijay, can you see the
Yeah.
screen now?
Yes. And value management technique. Yes, I am seeing.
Okay. Yes, Angela, you have any questions? Tell me.
Hi, Sanjay. I was not able to see the screen, so I just wanted to.
Okay.
I
You
was
can
on
see the
mute.
screen.
Yeah, right. I can see.
Okay. So in unvalue, there is something called as the plan value. Okay. And the plan value is nothing but the authorized budget assigned to the work to be accomplished for an activity or work breakdown structure component. Let me give you an example. Supposing the cost of the budget of one project is $10,000 and the duration of the project is 10 months. So what we basically do, I'm just giving you a very raw example, that the money which I am supposed to spend each month is $1,000, and the total duration of the project is 10 months. That means in 10 months I would be spending $10,000, and the $10,000 is nothing but your budget, and that's what it actually says. It is actually the authorized budget assigned to the work to be accomplished for an activity on a time scale. So if there are 10 months, we decide well in advance that for each month we would be spending that much amount of money. That is called a plan value. On value means the amount of work which I actually did in a particular month. So each month I am supposed to spend, each month I am supposed to perform a work which is of worth $1,000. So planned is your, what you basically originally planned, and earn your amount of work which you actually perform in that particular month. Now both plan value and earned value, both things are actually measured in dollars or in rupees or in euros. Okay, so these are the two things, and the third one is called as actual cost. Now the planned spending for a particular month was $1,000. I actually performed the work which is of worth $1,000, but in order to complete that work, I spent more money. If that work was supposed to be done by one resource, I basically deployed two resources. What will happen? We will increase the cost. That means a work which was supposed to be done with $1,000 actually done with $2,000. So these kind of a situation, these kind of a scenarios are not very, very healthy scenario. Though you were able to accomplish the planned work, but you actually spend more money. So it is something like when you, supposing you get the money from your father, okay, and your father asks you to go to a nearby shop to get some grocery item, and then he knows whatever grocery item he actually needs, it would need around 100 rupees to get those grocery items. Now what actually you did, you didn't go to that shop and you went to a shopping mall and there you bought all the grocery items, but then instead of spending 100 rupees, you ended up spending 150 rupees. So your plan value was 100, your earned value was 100, but the cost was 150 rupees, which is not, a very good scenario. So using on value management, we basically derive a different type of data. The first one is called as schedule variance, and the second one is called as cost variance. When we say schedule variance, we want to know if we are behind the schedule or we are ahead of schedule. When we are saying cost variance, we want to know are we over budget or we are under budget. When we are subtracting planned value from earned value, and if the number which we get is positive, that means we are ahead of schedule, and if we get the negative number, that means we are behind the schedule. While calculating the cost variance, if we subtract actual cost from earned value, if the number is positive, that means we are performing good on cost. That means we are under budget. And if the number is negative, that means we are over budget. Okay. So both these indicators, key performance indicators, are very, very important, while you are evaluating the performance of your project. Now there are two more indicators which are called as efficiency indicators. The first one is called as schedule performance index, and the second one is called as cost performance index. Now in cost variance, we were subtracting actual cost from earned value. In cost performance index, we will divide by actual cost. Similarly, in schedule variance, we were subtracting planned value from earned value, but in schedule performance index, we will go for division. Okay. Then we have some other terminologies like DAC. DAC is nothing but budget at completion. That is the total budget of the project. Okay. Now, just few minutes back, I was talking about that you have a budget of $10,000 and you are halfway through. You are at the middle point of the project. 50% of the work has been done. But the problem is you spent more money. You have already spent 80% of the budget. That means in order to complete 50% of the work, you spend $8,000, and now you are left with only $2,000, and within that $2,000, you need to complete 50% of the work, which is a fairly difficult task. And now the situation is you need to speak to the customer, get the more money. Now there is another way of saying the same thing, and what we will say now, that the DAC now would no longer be valid. Means 10,000, that was the original budget of the project. One thing is for sure, that you won't be able to complete that project in $10,000. That means you will get some more money from the customer, and then you will have a new BAC. And that new BAC is called as EAC, estimated completion. So try to understand the difference between BAC and EAC. BAC is the original budget. EAC is the new budget. Okay. Then we have something called as estimate to complete. So supposing you are the project manager, and one fine day your supervisor, your delivery manager, he comes to you, and he wants to know whether I would be able to complete this project in the given budget. If the answer is yes, no problem. But if the answer is no, then he wants to know what is that surplus amount which I would be needing in order to complete the project. Okay. So, Vijay, tell me.
Yeah, Sanjeev. See, your point is budgeted completion. Okay. Can I see the previous slide? Yeah. Sanjeev, see, we have now undergone with budgeted completion means the budget required to complete the project, right from say start to end. Just correct me if I am wrong. And the estimated completion means we have no at a point of it stage of the running project, like no say 20%, but the balance how much budget is required. Okay, then where no EV is less than where where EV no is less than AC. So estimated completion means that the balance budget is required to complete the project. Okay, that what now I understood. Against budgeted completion, estimate to complete means like how much more do you expect the job to cost after some portion of work has been completed? Means how much more say fund is required, like the budget is required to complete the balance work. Am I right, Sanjeev, in this case?
Absolutely right.
Okay. Okay.
Praveen, you were saying something?
Yeah, actually, the time when you started your screen, from that only I could understand what you are actually talking about. So before that, did I miss out something?
Well, I really don't know. What time you came in?
I mean, it was 9:20, I suppose, because before that you were discussing with some questions or some doubts, and the screen was not displaying.
No, but then I discussed about a lot, in control calls. So you came in at 9:20, and
Yeah, this was the first screen I saw on value management.
no, but
I
before
joined
that
at 9. No, I joined at 9.
Oh, okay. There was some technical
No.
problem, and only because of that you were not able to see the screen. There was some technical problem, and because
Yeah,
of
but
that,
I
was
thought
not
you
able
were
to see.
discussing some doubts.
No. I was not discussing the doubt. I was actually discussing the actual stuff, which I was supposed to do.
So I missed out that first 20 minutes discussion. Because I was not able to see that screen. I have written messages also.
I
but
saw that
has
message,
not been,
but you
Yeah.
you were able to listen the audio.
listen. Yeah, but it was somewhere in between. No, yeah, I was able to listen the audio.
Yeah, actually,
It was somewhere
yesterday
in between. I was not able to
for around 10-15 minutes, I was actually discussing the same stuff which I discussed yesterday. So yesterday I had started talking about the control cost. I started talking about the inputs to the control cost process. I started talking about the tools and techniques, and the same thing I repeated today also. Right, Kavin?
Sanjeev, one more thing. Yeah, just a request that today I got day 4, the Monday's recording at 5:30 in the evening. And,
Yes.
since if the recording is reaching me too late, then I won't be able to watch it, isn't it?
Absolutely right.
So what I spoke to Ajay in the evening. He said he has not got the recording. So I said no, he have already put the recording in the Dropbox in front of us only. So that's
Yes.
what I have spoken to him, because when I did not receive recording till 5 o'clock in the evening, I asked them.
One thing,
See,
Praveen, these are all, yeah.
you can get
Please
it.
listen to me. Please listen to me. These are, these are all very, very small things. You just be assured that, assuming that I would be completing the entire course in the coming 1 week, it does not mean that post that completion, I wouldn't be available. So within a week time, I'll be completing the entire course, and even after that, if you need me, I will make sure that, the extra sessions are arranged. You just leave it that to me only.
Okay.
if there is some problem, if you are not able to understand, if you are not comfortable, I will arrange extra sessions for all of you.
Right.
You don't worry about that.
Yes, thanks, sir.
Thanks.
Because I understand, we are all spending our precious time. We are all spending our precious money. And we, I as an ambassador from Whizlabs, I'll make sure that you get more than, what you have spent. Okay?
Right.
But I'll make sure going forward, these kind of a delay, do not happen again.
Yeah, that will be great, sir.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
Yes.
Okay, let's talk about quality management, which is another knowledge area in PMP, and there are only three things in quality. You have plant quality management, you have quality assurance, and you have quality control. There are only three processes in quality management area. And now look at here, in the execution process, we have perform quality assurance. So after integration management, in integration management, we had direct and managed project work as part of execution process scope. After that, we discussed scope. There was nothing in execution. After that, we discussed time. Again, there was nothing in execution. Then cost, nothing in execution. But in quality, while we are assuring the quality, that comes as part of executing process, right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Because we plan for quality, but then are we getting that quality? Are we following the right processes? All that actually happens during execution. Okay, so what it says that the quality management is a subset of 1 second. It is actually, a subset of project management that includes the processes required to ensure that the project will satisfy the needs for which it was undertaken. Okay. The focus of project manager is to plan quality during planning phase, evaluate the process during execution, and control quality as part of monitoring and controlling process. So this is a very, very important statement. First of all, we need to understand what we actually mean by quality. So, Rajendra, I would like to request you if you could. Okay, Rajendra is offline. Okay. So, Akram, are you there? Akram, are you there?
Yes, Sanjeev.
Okay, Akram, tell me, what do you mean by quality?
Quality, I can say in simple words, the best available for the particular product.
Okay.
In terms of standards available in the industry.
Okay, Anjula, anything from your side?
We'll be checking the quality of the project in the service line, assuring the project it's going well according to the standard process, it's following or not. Like
Praveen,
example,
anything else from your side, Praveen?
Yeah, the product which has been designed to deliver certain objectives, whether the objectives are meeting or not.
Okay. Which from your side?
Yeah, Sanjeev, from my end, what I understood now on this quality is the product or the service have been designed, then meeting the output in line with that, with designed specifications than other related say matters.
Okay, I mean, to some extent, all of you, whatever you said, I mean, it was actually not 100% right. The very simple definition of quality is delivering as per the requirement. Meeting the customer requirement, that's what the quality is all about. Quality is not about building the fancy features in the system. Quality is not about delivering, more to the customer. The simple meaning of quality is delivering what customer is asking for. That is what quality is all about. Okay. So there is like few pictures given on the slide. Number one, as management requested it. Two, as specified in the project request. Third, as designed by a senior analyst. Fourth, as produced by programmer. Fifth, as installed. And fourth, sixth, what the user wanted. So you see, the requirement is actually going through different people, and everybody understands the requirement in a very different way. Okay. So once again, let's just recap about quality. Quality refers to the features and characteristics of a product or service. These features and characteristics affects the product's ability to satisfy stated or implied, needs. So whatever characteristics, we have in the final product, that should be in line with the needs of the customer. Okay. Now, some of the goals of quality program, it should be fitness like for use. Okay. Fitness for purpose. Does the product or service meet its intended purpose? Then we have the customer satisfaction. Does the product or service meet the customer expectations? Then we have conformance to the requirement. Does the product or service conform, to the requirement? So these are some of the goals while we basically talk about quality. And in a nutshell, again, I am repeating the same statement. Quality is can be phrased in a very simple language, simple words, delivering back what customer is asking for. It fulfills, their expectations, okay, and it, it conforms to the requirement. That is what quality is all about. Now, before we, okay, Vijay.
Yeah, Sanjeev, see whatever you're saying, and we are see even explaining the quality means delivery of a project or the product as per customer request or customer acceptance. Okay.
Yeah.
Then when we have seen this slide in which the six stages are there when you are showing about tree. The last one, user requirement. So for that, the management or the project manager have to work as per the quality, so that he can able to put more effort in that instead of doing other things, so that immediately he can able to get into the shoes of the customer. Am I right, Sanjeev?
Yes. Yes, you are right, Vijay.
because now it is showing some 6 stages, but the last stage when it's showing user requirement as per user. So that is what now is required in quality as per the definition you framed and we understood.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, before we get into the detailed discussion on quality, let us understand what we actually mean by quality and how it is different from grade. Okay. This is an important discussion. A project management team must be careful not to confuse quality with grade, because both are absolutely different. Okay. So the quality is the totality of the characteristics of an entity that bear on its ability to satisfy stated or implied needs. So quality is something which satisfies the customer implied or stated needs. That is what the quality is all about. Whereas a grade is actually a category or a rank given to the entities having the same functional use but different requirements for quality. So just try to understand this thing. A good quality product but a low grade is acceptable. But a high grade product but low in quality is not acceptable. So you can take it this way, that you buy an audio system, and the reason I bought the audio system, I had a very simple requirement that the audio system should have the mechanism to play a CD, to play an audio CD. That was my requirement, just that. And it should have the normal speaker, and it should play a CD, give me a crystal clear sound. That was my requirement. But when I go to the market, I see different models of audio systems. So there is one audio system which costs 10,000 rupees. There is another audio system which costs 1 lakh rupees. Now the audio system which is costing 1 lakh rupees, now there is some special kind of a CD. The CD which are very small in size, also called as optical CD. So it plays those optical CD, but not the normal one. So the CD player, which is costing 10,000 rupees, it is low in grade but high in quality, because my only intent is to listen to the audio song, and I should be able to play the CD, insert the CD and then play, and then it starts playing the song on the CD. That was my requirement. But the grade is lower because you do not have lot of other features in that audio system, but then at the same time, I do not need those features. Whereas if you look at the audio system which is costing more than 1 lakh, that has lot of grades, but it does not have the bare minimum requirement using which I can play an audio CD, because it does not play the audio CD, it plays the optical CD, and that is precisely the difference between grade and quality. Do you understand?
Yes, Neil.
Okay. Now let's talk about the input tools and techniques and output. So while we are talking about plan quality management, in this process we actually identify the quality requirements, or like we identify standards for the project. We identify the requirements, the standards, for the deliverables. Okay, and we also document in the quality management plan as to how we will demonstrate compliance with the quality requirements. That is what the planned quality management process is all about. Rajendra, today you are not speaking at all, Rajendra. All is well with you?
No, I got disconnected in between, so I'm following what you're saying.
Okay. And Akram, are you comfortable with what I am talking?
Yes, Sanjeev. Yeah.
I mean, you don't talk much, Akram. I mean, I see that sometimes you are offline, sometimes you are online, sometimes you want to say something, but the audio is not clear. I'm really not sure if you are fully involved.
Actually, I was not able to follow many things in between because of the application we had used. The first application was I was able to run from my office as well.
Okay.
But this new application, Go Meeting, doesn't work from my office.
Okay.
Even though I just recently purchased one.
Are you comfortable what we have been discussing for the last many days?
Yeah. So I'll go through the videos again. Yeah.
Okay.
I need to go through it, all the videos again.
Okay. Right. So, one second, let me mute everybody. So, quality management, it actually, addresses the management of the project and deliverable of the projects. Okay. And quality is something, which is relevant. I mean, it doesn't matter whether it is IT or construction or manufacturing. In all these areas, in all these industries, we have means and mechanisms through which we make sure that the quality product is delivered back to the customer. And there are few techniques, few tools used in which we measure the quality of, the deliverables. Okay. One second. So as I said, I think Rajendra has some questions. Yes, Rajendra, please go ahead.
So a small question. It's like you're talking about quality, so has this thing come to my mind. What is the right time to launch the project? So is it when you have zero bug or when you are done with your quality and grade? So then you can say it's done. So I'm not talking from project management perspective. Like you get a sign off and all this stuff, functional requirements are clean, all this stuff. That's okay. Those are the guidelines. So I'm saying if QC, so if you say grade is okay and quality is okay, can you say my product is ready?
No. Let's use, the word very carefully. If the quality is satisfactory, the customer is satisfied with the quality, okay, then that is what we call it, a success story. But if the quality is not satisfactory, but the grade is very high, it is not a very good performance. So number one priority is to make sure that we are delivering as per the customer requirement. That is what the quality is all about.
So there could be a range for this thing, for the quality.
What kind of a range?
Okay, so let me say, let's say we are going to petrol pump and this guy is giving us petrol. So the quality of the petrol may vary from pump to pump. So is there any mechanism to identify what is the quality or what is the acceptable quality? Any range? Let's say butane percentage would be, let's say, 5%, or or it should be between 4.9 to 5.1%. Anything between that range, you should accept it.
Okay. So whenever we talk about quality, I mean, you basically brought in a very good point. Whenever we talk about quality, now there are certain acceptable limits. Now supposing if we are approaching a manufacturer and I am actually an architect. I am in the business of providing consultation to the builders. Now I got an assignment from one builder. They want to build a high-rise building, and they actually need the window frames, and it is actually a 20-story building, and on each story we would be requiring around 10 window frames. So we have 10 floors. That means we would be needing 100 frames. So I go to the person who specializes in manufacturing the window frame, and I give him my requirement, and I tell him that the length of the window should be this much, this should be the width of the window, and you need to use this particular type of aluminum, which is of a certain grade, and he starts the work. But while I was giving the order, I tell him one thing upfront, that the dimensions which I have given to you, that it should be say 20 inches, that should be the length, and the width should be maybe 10 inches. So 10 by 20. So I tell him upfront that I will accept, the variation in length and width, maybe 0.01%. So if you are delivering, the window frame, and out of 100 window frames, if there are 10 window frames wherein I see a different length and width, but that length and width, that variation is less than 0.01%, I will accept it. But if it is more than 0.01%, then I will reject it, and you need to manufacture those defective pieces again. So I think that this is what you were asking.
That's a question.
Rajendra?
Yeah, that's a question.
Yeah, so I think I answered your question.
Yeah, so in that stuff, one more thing, you used one word called X percentage. So like suppose you are giving 100 windows to make, and out of which if 10 comes with that defective stuff, then we can go for reworking. But let's say there are different type of stuff. Let's say what are called nut and bolt. So the bolt diameter, sometimes it could vary. So let's say 9.09, so there is a range. So customer is saying, hey, my requirement is 9. However, you could give me a range from 9.01 to 9.05. Sorry,
yeah.
8.98 to 9.05. That is okay with me. So if the vendor provides, the bolt what vendor provides has not a single bolt is at 9, and they are in between this range. So in that scenario, will the customer accept those bolts or not?
If anything which is in the permissible acceptable range, customer will accept.
Okay.
And if it is outside the permissible limit, he will reject.
Okay. Okay. But I think again it is case to case, I guess, right? Suppose if it could be a healthcare product.
Whatever conditions you have laid down in the beginning, that the delivery I will accept, it should fulfill these requirements. If it does, I will accept. If it does not, I won't accept.
But what about healthcare?
Sorry?
What about healthcare? Okay, there is a Boeing. Healthcare.
Yeah.
So in the healthcare, if there is a life risk,
yes.
In that scenario, how to address this situation? So let's say there is an aeroplane. In that aeroplane, we are talking about a turbine, and the turbine speed is acceptable range. This should be this to that. and the quality auditor, he goes and he verifies that stuff, but he says, yes, there could be a chance of 2% defectiveness. So if it says 2% defectiveness, in that scenario, will the flight fly or it has to go for rechecking? That's a question
Again,
I found in one of the PMP stuff.
Okay.
Hello,
I'll say the same
You
thing.
didn't get my question?
Yes, I got your question. In the industries, especially the aeronautics, where the company is manufacturing the aeroplane. Now, while the aeroplane, when it is in the air, any technical snag or any problem, you have the lives of more than 300 people at the stake. So there you have the rigorous quality standards and the product before it actually goes to the customer. It goes through months and months of testing, and during which can also be called as user acceptance testing. And that user
What is that?
acceptance. Sorry?
That is user acceptance testing. That's what you were saying? UAT?
Yes, yes.
But UAT will be there for all the cases, right?
No, that's first listen to me. UAT will be there for all the cases, but here you will have the user acceptance testing in the real life environment, and it won't be a single day job. I mean, if you know about this Airbus 380, which is the biggest airliner in the world, it went through maybe months and months of testing. So you have rigorous quality controls in such a situation, like the healthcare industry, where a company, they actually launch a medicine in the market. Now, before that medicine is launched in the market, that medicine is tested, and the test and the results are observed for maybe 2 years or 3 years. And once it has been tested on so many parameters, then only it is, released in the market, and it is, made sure that this medicine is not, it's good for human consumption. So there, the tolerance limits are very, very less. I mean, very small window is there as far as the tolerance is concerned.
Okay.
So in that case,
tolerance over here.
in that case, you have the quality and also the grade. Both things, play very, very important way. So the quality should be there, that yes, it conforms to the customer. Now, supposing if you take an example of the aeroplane only, that when the manufacturer, when they are designing the fuselage means the outer body of the aircraft, and that should be made with a specific type of metal, and that specific type of metal should be of a particular grade. And if it is not of that grade, then maybe it won't be able to sustain the air pressure while he is in the air, when the aircraft is in the air. So in these kind of industry, both quality and the grade play an important role.
Right.
I answered your question, Rajendra?
Yes, pretty clear, sir. Thank you.
So I was talking about the plant quality management, and once again, let me repeat. It is actually the process of identifying quality requirements, all the standards, okay, and we also make sure that we have means of mechanism through which we can demonstrate that this particular product, it conforms to certain quality compliances. So that is what plant quality management is all about. Now let's talk about the input and tools and techniques and the output. Okay, talking about the input. The first important input is the scope baseline. And when I say the scope baseline, it comprises of three things. It comprises of project scope statement, it comprises of work breakdown structure, it comprises of work breakdown structure dictionary. Now, if you remember in the earlier sessions, I was talking about the process interaction, and I told you that in PMP, while we talk about the project management, while we talk about the knowledge area, or we talk about the process group, they basically interact with each other. So the one output of a process, it
Hello, Sanjay. I think Sanjay is speaking. I'm not able to hear.
Can you chat? I'm on phone, so if you are seeing in desktop or laptop, can you message him?
Sorry?
I'm not able to listen him. Just ping him on the chat now. I'm not
Yeah,
able to
yeah.
listen to him, but I don't know.
Okay.
Are you able to hear the voice? Angela?
Myself, Anshul. Is it Raji?
No,
Rajendra?
Ravindra.
Yeah, Praveen, Angela, and Rajesh. We three are no hearing, but we are unable to catch Sanjay. So that is the problem. So that is the main problem.
Let's close this today then. I think let's close.
Yeah, 5 to 7 minutes now. It's
Just put a request, no?
Yeah, I think Angela is doing that.
Yeah, I have done, but no response from Sanjeev.
I think some technical problem.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I think then I am leaving it. You
Okay.
continue, please. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, now Sanjay,
Now,
now we able to because
Oh, I've been
7 minutes dropped.
5-7 minutes. So what was the last thing I said?
Around. Yes.
What was the last thing you heard?
This no
Only
the last
input,
before,
output.
yeah, that to know with the
Yeah.
plan quality management. So after that, no, you are just scrolling the slides,
Okay.
but we unable to catch you on that.
Okay, so I think let's stop here only because I can see Rajendra has already left.
Yeah, he said he will drop.
So we will we'll take it up tomorrow once again, and once again, I'll start with plan quality management. But guys, are you feeling comfortable? I mean, do you think am I going too fast or I'm going too
No.
slow?
Yeah, Sanjeev. So I do not have any issue. It is it is going on normal speed. What I am not thinking, what I am not using your
Yeah.
and yes, Sanjay. Sanjay, one more point of clarification. See, we are not discussing so much on this project management. We all know gone through initiation, planning, execution, monitoring and control and closing. Okay, at various stages, the project now will be signed off. Like even the charter got signed off at initiation with budgets and all that, and project manager and project now has been assigned with project manager, and the planning various documents means various process has been assigned. Means initial they put up in framed the entire project, and the documents have been even processed and the documents have been prepared. When they fixed up even the boundaries of that, like quality, cost, okay, whatever is there, they put up the boundaries like plus or minus. Okay. Then when the execution and monitoring and control process starts, these are all these boundaries will they catch and see that reaching the customer expectations or not, and they pull back to the customer expectations. Okay, finally they complete and with all whatever the documents they have to close and all that in closing process, they can able to do it. Am I right, Sanjeev, on this entire the project management process?
Yeah, you're absolutely right with that.
PMP, yeah, in this PMP is concerned.
Yeah.
Okay. Then even in planning also, when they prepared, anyone knows the sign off, the project manager, customer, with sponsor, have they signed they had did it at charter. Anyhow, during charter, the project manager was not involved, maybe in preparation, but the signing off, they may not involve. But after preparation of basic document in planning, anyone know the sign off, like project manager with customer, okay, with stakeholders, any such activity take place? Even I have not seen that in the PM box or somewhere.
We're talking about sign-off?
Yes, in during planning stage.
Yeah, in planning stage, you get the sign-off from the customer on project management plan.
Okay. Okay. Then those project management plan will act as an input in every stages, whatever we are seeing as input. Am I right, Sanjeev?
Absolutely, yes, absolutely right.
Okay, okay. With the change request, the updations and all that now will be added till the close of the project.
Yes,
Am I right, Sanjeev?
absolutely right.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Sanjeev. Thank you.
Praveen, do you want to ask anything, Praveen?
Yeah, actually, since starting, as you could see, I found it got disconnected initially, so I am not able to connect with what has been discussed today. So what I will do, I will go through the PPT and I will listen the recording today, and tomorrow I'll get back to you.
Okay. And what about you, Angela?
I have a question, like, quality assurance and quality control.
We will discuss about that tomorrow.
Okay, yeah.
We will discuss about that tomorrow.
Okay, fine.
Akram, anything? You have any query or question?
I'm fine, Sanjay. Thank you.
Okay, guys. Thank you very much. And
Thank you.
we'll again, meet tomorrow at same time, 9 o'clock, and we'll discuss plan quality management, quality assurance, and quality control.
Thank you, Sanjeev.
Thank you, Sanjay.
Good
Good night
night.
all.
Good night,
Okay,
everybody.
thank you. Good night all.
Bye.
Bye, bye.